Hello there, I'm Joe Bizzle289 and we're going to be continuing our series on the basic tutorial of City Skylines. The last couple of videos we checked out how to create a road, how to upgrade that road, and then in the last video I showed you what to think about when placing your first power plant and how to place that first power plant. I went over the pros and cons of each power plant that you initially start off with, and then how to place down the power line. So if you want to see that video, make sure you hit that like or hit that description down in the bottom. The link will be there. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about that all cities need is water. Okay, so how do we get water to our citizens? Well, we're going to just place this little water button right here. Okay, so now we have a couple of different options. We have our water pipe. We have our water pumping station, which is actually going to draw water out of the reservoir or out of the lakes or whatever, and then it's going to pump it into the pipes and then go from there. You have a water tower, which will provide a water source in the event that you don't have water there, and you can create it if it's just too far away from the water source and you don't want to do that. We have our sewage, which is going to be very important because just like me and you, everybody goes poop. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Everybody goes poop. So we're going to need a way to get rid of that poop. So we're going to discuss how to place that. And then we have a different version of the sewage. We have the inland water treatment, which you can place on the land instead of dumping the sewage out into the water source. And then we have, if you have other upgrade packs or DLCs, you have the Eco Water Outlet, and then you have the Eco Inland Water Treatment Plant. But we're going to start off very basic here, and we're just going to start with our first water pumping station. Now, as I discussed in the other video, there's a way to hide this and make it look like the regular view. So all you got to do is you click up here on the info views, and then you just deselect the water button, and then you can see what it would normally look like. But what we want to find out is we want to find out the water flow direction, because that's going to be very important coming up here. So as we look here at the water, we see these little white arrows, and that arrow is showing the direction of the water. So water is flowing this way. So when we provide our water, or when we put our water pump down, we want to make sure that it is upstream, so up away from where we're going to eventually place our sewage, because we don't want to suck up that sewage and then people drinking sewage water. Okay, this is also another good spot to do it because the water is pushing that way. We wouldn't really want to put it here because there's the water is coming in that way. So I like this spot right here. It's away from the rest of the city, and it's, as you can see here, there's a lot of sound that gets created by those headphones, and you can see just how large that area is. So we're just going to start with a very basic one. We're just going to click it down. Okay, so now we have two things that we got to do next. Next, we got to connect the water to the city, and then we're going to have to push the sewage out away from the city. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can just click and drag all the way across, and this blue area here, this shows how much water or where the water is being pumped to. That's one technique, and then you can just have at it. However, that can become very expensive because you're going to end up not having a good waterway. So really, a good rule of thumb is you always want to just place your water pipes underneath the roads, and that will automatically cover all the zones on that road, and then you don't have to worry about it getting in the way later on. So now we can see that by placing this under the roads as best as you can. Sometimes it doesn't really link up there very well. We have water to all of our zoned areas. We need just a little bit extra right here. Okay, so now water is all right there. So now we're going to connect this. I'm just going to go straight over and then straight down. Okay, and by hearing that little connection noise, it means that we made a connection. Now, what we want to do is we want to put the water sewage or the sewage away from away from the city. Now, what we want to see here is we don't want to get this next to here, because again, we have that red circle, which is no good. Because if you're living here, you wouldn't want something loud and noisy next to you. Okay, and we also want to look at the water direction. Okay, so all the water is flowing off that way. So we will place this right over here. It's away from everybody, and it's not going to be sucked up by the water. And then we'll just connect this straight up, just like that. So now we have two other problems that we have to look at, and that is power. Okay, so now we're going to take our power line, and we're just going to go straight across, and then straight down. So now the water pump has power. Then we're going to bring this up and around, just for temporarily, just for right now. And then as we go into later stages of the game, we'll delete these power lines and make it more aesthetically pleasing, make it look better. But for right now, both of those objects, both those assets have power. Okay, so that is going to cover the water for right now. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for all the other videos that are going to be coming your way. And then, you know, if you liked it, if it was helpful, be sure to let me know down in the comments. Okay, that's going to do it for today's video. We'll see you in the next one. Bizzle out.